We achieved an unlikely promotion in Season 1 with Helsingborgs, and that meant two things. Firstly, we had achieved the first goal of this save, and now the Builder Nation in Sweden could really begin. But it also meant we would be facing much tougher opposition this season, so we needed to bring in some better players, which called for a very busy pre-season rebuild. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel on part 4 of Builder Nation Sweden with Helsingborg. After our promotion last season, we will now be facing much tougher opposition this time around, and in order to give ourselves a chance of staying in the top flight and fighting off relegation, we had to bring in reinforcements. We needed better quality players. We needed a summer rebuild. So that's what we did. Also, we continued last season's Swedish Cup in pre-season of the next season, which doesn't make sense, but let's just go with it, shall we? It is what it is. Before we get going in this video, please do hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell to know when future videos are going to be released. This series has done really well so far, so hopefully it will continue and people will continue to like it and comment and watch the videos and stuff and help the channel to grow. But without further ado, let's go and look at pre-season of Season 2. And we start with transfers and 6 released players on free transfers at the end of their contract, including Wilhelm Loper, our defensive winger who was very, very good for us last season, although a little bit injury prone. Charlie Weiberg was another one who has gone on a free transfer and he's now at Sandviken. Victor Goransson, who was out on loan all of last season, has left on a free transfer and is yet to be picked up, so he's still available, although we're not going to go in for him because he's not very good. And 3 players who left us on free transfers and have now retired from playing are Andreas Landgren, who is now an unemployed assistant manager, Cole Alexander, who's an unemployed scout, and Rasmus Johnson, who's also an unemployed scout. As well as those released on free transfers, we also lost important first-team regulars who were in on loan, such as Pavle Vagic and Lucas Kehed. We also sold Sumar Almaged and Irvin Gigovic, and allowed 6 players to go out on developmental loans. So there was plenty of places in the squad that needed filling, and we had over £1 million in the transfer budget in order to do so. So we brought in 9 players in a summer rebuild, all of which are first team quality and will add a lot to our squad. And in the order they came into the club, those 9 players are 6'4" central defender Isaac Johnson, who has the potential to be a good Allsvenskan player, has jumping reach of 16 and heading of 13. What more do you want from a central defender? Nicolas Maturana, 30-year-old Chilean, decent Allsvenskan player, unlikely to improve, but can play anywhere in attacking midfield or on the wings and can cover as a striker. Probably the weakest of our new incoming players is Ariel Uribe, 25-year-old former under-20 Chilean international winger. Current ability 2.5 stars, but has a bit of potential about him, could get better, and has proven to be a decent player so far. Edvin Becerovic, another winger and striker who has the potential to be a good Allsvenskan player. Philip Schreiberg, another giant of a central defender, 6'3", with jumping reach of 15 and heading of 13. Adam Bergmark Weiberg, my new star striker, 26-year-old. Current ability is a good Allsvenskan player. He's close to his full potential. Plays as a pressing forward, can play as an advanced forward and as a poacher. Can also cover out on the wing. Has already scored some vital goals for us, but is injured and out for up to 3 months with a dislocated shoulder. Byron Bustamante, another Chilean, this time a midfielder, ball-winning midfielder, Mazzala, box-to-box midfielder, can play as a carrilero, deep line playmaker, can pretty much play any role in the midfield. He's a good Allsvenskan player. He's unlikely to improve, but with those attributes, he doesn't really need to get much better to be a very good player for us. And the 4th player of our Chilean contingent is 26-year-old right wing back Byron Nieto. Currently a good Allsvenskan player, another one who's close to full potential, but has brilliant attributes across the board, and is another one who looks to be a very, very good player in the making. And rounding out our transfer incomings is 31-year-old 55-cap Cameroonian wing-back Collins Fay. He is decent at this level and will add a lot of quality to our team. And seeing as we've brought in wing-backs now, we've changed the system a little bit. We're now playing wing play. We've changed the dimensions of our home pitch to be very wide, and we're going to look to attack teams down the wings. So we've added a bit of width to our team by changing to a 4-2-3-1 positive mentality wing play, and we're going to see how that gets on. It's a bit of a change from last season where we played with 3 at the back with 2 wide centre-backs and no full-backs or wing-backs. But that formation is still there in our arsenal if we need it. We haven't actually played with our new formation yet, though, and stuck to the 3-3-4 against Örebro in the first game in the group stage of the SpenserCopon. We went 1-0 up for our new signing Weiberg. Kobashi added a second from the spot. Kobashi then added a third with a great turn and finish. It was 4-0 when Uribe cut into the box and smashed a right footer into the top corner. Uribe did pull a goal back very, very late on, but it was enough for a 4-1 victory, and we started our cup campaign in style. Next up was Djurgården, and they done very well in the top flight last season and were favourites to win this game, and they took the lead in the 65th minute with that finish. But we were playing quite well, and we wanted to prove ourselves to a top flight side. Bergmark Weiberg with a great finish after a great first touch made it 1-1, and then in stoppage time Becerovic burst into the box, put it across, and Olsen got onto the end of it, put it past the keeper, and we had beaten Djurgården 2-1. Our final game of the group stage was against Degerfors, and we done quite well again. Becerovic burst into the box, was tackled, but the defender passed the ball to Bergmark Weiberg, who put the ball in the back of the net, and we were 1-0 up. Then, some decent build-up play. Aqua found Bergmark Weiberg outside the area, and with a fantastic finish, he made it 2-0, and that is how the game ended. We'd won all 3 of our group stage games, and finished top of the group to move through to the quarter-finals of the SpenserCopon. And in that quarter-final, we met last season's third-place finishers, Halmstad, who took the lead and showed their quality with a good header from Allenson. But we weren't just going to lay down and die. We were going to give it our best, and Rogne found Becerovic, who a first-time volley hit the back of the net, and it was 1-1. Second half, Halmstad started to assert their dominance. Sasa found Granat in the box, and it was 2-1. Then Svedberg's corner was met with a header, went back to Svedberg, and his cross was met by Sasa. It was 3-1, and we were starting to fade. But then Lingman from the penalty spot in the 80th minute made it 3-2. And then right at the death, 90th minute, Uribe's header made it 3-3. We'd earned a draw. Or had we? 91st minute, just like 30 seconds after we'd equalised, Barakai found the back of the net, and Halmstad won 4-3. We thought we had come back. I changed the tactics to very attacking. I put more players up front. I went more direct. I shouted encouragement, and it worked right up until the last touch of the game. So we were out of the cup, but we had reached the quarterfinals, and there were a lot of positive things to take from our run. We had topped a group containing 2 sides from last season's top flight, and we'd pushed last season's third place Allsvenskan side Halmstad's right to the death. They've been playing in Europe. We were playing in the second tier, and we were 3-3 in the 90th minute. Yeah, we lost. We conceded an injury time losing goal, but we done well. We pushed them right up until the last moments, and that has only got to be a positive for going forward. If we can continue performances like that, we will get results against the big boys and hopefully avoid relegation pretty easy. Talking about the coming league season, here is a season preview and the bold vision. And looking at the season preview shows you that we are expected to finish bottom of the table. We are 700 to 1 to win the title. Malmo are the odds-on favourites and are red-hot favourites, well ahead of Häcken, who are predicted to finish in second. Halmstad, who we played in the Cup and who finished third last season, are predicted to finish 10th. But we basically are not given a single chance of doing anything decent this season. Even staying up is going to be a very, very tough ask. 700 to 1, predicted to finish bottom. So we've got a lot of people to prove wrong. Now the club vision. The board want us to avoid relegation. It's required that we avoid relegation from the Allsvenskan. If I click on the competitions tab and it comes up and it says it there, it says that the board want us to reach the relegation playoff at a minimum. But here it says that it's required that we avoid relegation. And they wanted us to be competitive in the SpenserCopon, and we were. So we passed that, and they're quite pleased. Magnus Olsson's contract is up at the end of this season, so we need to do well in order to get a new contract and remain in charge at Helsingborg. Or it may mean going back down to the second tier and starting it all over again. The board at the minute, B+, are very pleased with your overall leadership of the team. But we have a little bit of a contradiction between the board and the supporters for this season, because the board want us to play defensively solid football, while the supporters want us to play attacking football and make the most of set pieces. They both want counter-attacking, but the board want defensive, the supporters want attacking. I've got to try and find a decent middle ground while also playing teams that are much better than us and being predicted to finish bottom of the table. So this might be a very, very tough season. And looking at the schedule, you can see just how tough this season is going to be. We start the campaign against the red-hot odds-on favourites and reigning champions, Malmo. Then we take on the team predicted to finish 5th place in Elfsborg. And then we play our rivals Landskrona, who finished a mile ahead of us last season. So it's going to be a tough start. Hopefully we can pick up some points early on to give us a good foundation for the coming campaign. But it's going to be tough. And there's a chance we could be in a battle at the bottom of the table for the entirety of the campaign. And you will find out how the early stages of the season go in the next episode. I'm going to play through probably until the midpoint of the season again, like I did in Season 1. And then I'll come back with a first half of the season review in the next video. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please do hit the like button, subscribe to the channel and all that good stuff like I mentioned before. And hopefully I will see you all again next time. Until then, bye-bye for now.